Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session, it's all about the action in the US market. Today, it's the election day for the United States, and we are likely to see the increased volatility in the equity segment. Of course, today it's a polling day, and we will have to wait till the election results are out, which will take couple of days after the counting starts. And given the fact that mail voting has contributed a lot. We will have to wait till those counting is done as well. Now, if we consider the trading context for the day, earlier in the day we got the Reserve Bank of Australia's monetary policy announcement, and here the RBA has decided to lower its interest rates to 0.1% from the prior rates of 0.25, while expanding its bond buying program to the extent of Australian dollar 100 billion, which it will buy over next 5 to 6 months period. So this is further easing of already loose monetary policy, and the backdrop is of course the rising concerns surrounding the economic recovery. The RBA, in its commentary on the economic affairs, has said that it is expecting the growth in the third quarter, that is the quarter ended September of this year, to be positive, notwithstanding the restrictions in some of the provinces. And it is expecting the unemployment rate to be lower than the prior expectations, but still it feels that it will have to provide the ample amount of support to keep the economy growing, and as a result of that it has lowered the interest rates and increased the APP, asset purchase program. And as I said, all eyes are on the US presidential elections, and I think now the market participants are going to factor in the policies of each side. Of course, the odds are in the favor of Mr. Biden. He is expected to win, but you never know till the election results are out to be sure. And if the Democratic nominee, Mr. Biden, wins, I think, given the fact that Democrats have promised a large stimulus package, we will pretty much see the equities rallying higher. And also, if Mr. Trump wins, he has promoted the low taxation, and also the business policies have been favorable so far. And even in that scenario of his win, I'm not really expecting the equity markets to do badly. So you can say, all in all, the broad-based scenario is that we will see the ongoing rally, which has run quite a lot on the higher side, to continue for a foreseeable future. And this immediate bottom, which we have seen the equities for last 2 to 3 days consolidating, and for S&P in particular, the S&P has found some buying support around 3,200 above levels. So we will see that it might grow as the near-term bottom, and for next couple of sessions, we might even see the S&P 500 rallying higher. So in today's trading session, we will see the technical outlook for S&P 500, and afterwards we will also go into the nitty-gritties of the USDJPY formations. So let's start with the S&P 500's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and here the levels I was talking about. The 3200 zone has proven quite good support for the S&P 500's buyers, and even last time around we had seen the turnaround happening closer to the same level. And this time around also the S&P 500 has started to show that it is going to respect these support zone, and as a result of that we are seeing fresh buying momentum, which has pushed the S&P 500 almost more than 2.5 percentage point onwards after making this low pretty close to the prior swing low. Now in today's session the momentum is on the upward side, and I am expecting, if we see a positive close in today's session. The next couple of sessions, the undertone will be bullish, but we need to stand ready for the increased volatility, and as a result of that, we might see wild swings happening in the S&P 500 for this week. The volatility is likely to remain elevated given the fact that this is the election week, and we will also keep that in mind whenever we will be taking the position in the S&P 500. So if we fall back on the lower time frame chart, here you can see that this consolidation phase has proven well, and this price action shows that we saw uncertainty prevailing, and one thing to take note of is that this was the level which gave the bulls some reasons to get back in the trade, and as a result of that we saw this sharp decline which had started close to 3540 finally subsiding, and then we have some buying momentum which is now pushing the S&P 500 higher toward this immediate resistance zone. The central pivot point of this month's pivot point series, which is there around 3350. So next hurdle is going to be this zone, and it might take a couple of days till this hurdle is cleared in case we expect the S&P 500 to break on the upper side and then rally toward this next resistance zone. But for next couple of days, we will need to be cautious and try to go for the entry points where our risk will be fairly minimum. So if we want to target for the trade in S&P 500, I think we will have to be mindful of this confluence zone of 50 and 100 SMAs. There is not much of a distance between these two SMAs. I am expecting the S&P 500's these SMAs to cross, and if that is going to be the case, I think the 50 SMA is going to cross above the 100 SMA. So that will give us more reasons to believe in this upward trajectory of the S&P 500. And this near-term swing low, the low established just little above 3280, is going to be our area of interest, and I think we can go for fresh buying opportunity anywhere in the S&P 500 if we see it inching toward this immediate swing low, and of course do consolidation at least for a couple of hours closer to or above these prior swing lows, and that will curtail our stop losses. Our losses, in case we happen to be wrong, will be fairly sharp, as I think the prior swing low around 3240 is good enough to act as the next stop loss level in case we go for any buy trading opportunity anywhere near 3280 to 3290. So the risk is of more than 1% point, I think around 1.5 percentage point. But then on the higher side, we can target pretty wide, and these prior swing high, the levels around 3400 will also come into play if we see the S&P 500 successfully crossing above this 200 and holding well. So our risk reward ratio is going to be, of course, better than even 1 is to 2, and as a result of that, I think we can indeed give it a try and see how the situation unfolds in the today's session or for next couple of sessions. Now moving on to the currency segment, here we will first see the USDJPY technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and for USDJPY also we had talked about the possible trend reversal in yesterday's session. And now as I look back on the levels which I had marked in yesterday's session, I think the situation is unfolding as per our anticipation, and even in today's session we saw this sharp correction on the lower side, and now on the lower side around 104.5 we saw the buying momentum coming in and pushing the USDJPY's valuation higher, and now the USDJPY is inching again on the higher side. So our anticipation of trend reversal taking place around this prior swing low is holding well, and I think moving forward also we should be looking for buying opportunity in the USDJPY, and to that extent we will need certain markers to act as our near-term support and resistance levels, and I feel given the fact that the USDJPY's price action is below this central pivot point of these month's pivot point series, we will need to be a bit cautious here, but at the same time we can expect the USDJPY to at least try to get closer to this immediate resistance zone, and in that scenario also we can be in good position to make money if we are only able to figure out the optimum levels. The regression curve is still pointing to the downward trajectory, and we will have to wait for a session or two till we see some flattening of the regression curve, as the price action has now moved to the upper band of this regression curve, and we might even see it crossing above this upper band in today's session or next couple of sessions. And if we want to exploit this situation to our advantage, I would say that this 100 SMA is going to be our crucial marker. We have the 100 SMA around 104.5, and this time around also we saw the reversal happening pretty close to those levels. So looking at that, if we are fortunate enough to get the opportunity again in the latter part of today's session, we should lap it up, or maybe if we don't really get any such correction to that level, I think we will have to look for buying opportunities around 104.6 to 104.7 after due consolidation, and we can then expect the rally to continue to run higher while keeping our stop losses anywhere closer to 104.3. I think the 104.3 should act as a near term deciding marker. Anything above that, and we can be fairly confident of the USDJPY continuation of the upward trajectory. But if we do see the break on the lower side, then we can pretty much expect the USDJPY to break below towards 104 or even lower than that. So here in today's session, target for the entry point anywhere in the price band, as I said, closer to 104.6, and on the upper side we can target the price zone above the immediate swing high, and in coming sessions we can even expect the S&P 5, sorry, the USDJPY to cross and hold above 105, and eventually in due course of time to rally towards 105.50. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. Goodbye.